Hello, my friends, and welcome back to HARTstrings Deeper Thinking. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about art. Now, I've been an artist for many years, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight on how it works. Tips, tricks, just a few when it comes to making your own art, especially beginners. Now, a few things I'd like to point out from the start. Art doesn't just magically look good. It takes a lot of planning, preparation, and time. It takes a lot of sketches, rough drafts, and things that people don't usually show to others. A sketchbook doesn't have to be public, but today I am showing you one of mine from the past year that I've been working on. Now, I feel like a lot of people, they think that art has to be wonderful right off the bat, but it takes a lot of practice, a lot of stray marks, in order to get anything to be correct. It takes a lot of doodles, a lot of constantly keeping your brain moving in order to create good designs. And like I said, it's not just a one-shot, oh, perfect, it's all perfect. This, for example, is an idea I had, concept, about animal constructs. So this would be a peacock, and it would have fans instead of the bright plumage. The gem in the middle as its fuel source, and just an attractive sort of creature. This is without reference. Now this one here is more anatomically correct with reference. I'll make another video working on that one a little more. But like I said, it takes a few sketches, it takes a few different times in order to actually get a more accurate piece. I've got a ladybug cat noir comic I'm working on. I'm going to digitize that. Art is a really important part of my life, actually. This is actually a dream I had quite a while ago about a concept of creation of the world. I actually have a dream journal that I'll go with and start speaking the stories here soon. In the meantime, there are important ways of telling stories in art. A lot of people forget that. Now we're getting into the Inktober stuff. So, like I was saying, how art doesn't always start out well. It also doesn't always remain consistent. For example, this is, about a year ago. This is for the Inktober challenge last year, by the way. It doesn't always remain consistent. Things change, the ebb and flow and of your energy and such when you're writing and drawing. They change, just like the rest of the world. You don't all say the same. Hey, see, doodles, healthy. This is actually not about cutting, I hope you know. When you're an artist and a writer, it feels almost like the ink runs through your veins. This lustrous ink that flows through my veins is constantly spilling onto blank pages. And down here it says, are we really alive and sentient? Now, it's good to doodle. It's good to not have everything super accurate. I promise. It's good and healthy for you as an artist to keep drawing rough sketches and continue to progress. Now this is actually a piece that I recreated from a while back. Like I said, it's an Inktober thing again. And it actually is sort of relevant for this video, I suppose. Weakness reminds us of what we once were, but your power is fading and you can hurt me no longer. For I'm stronger than I once was. This is actually a symbol that I have on my ankle that I've got a tattoo of. It's, yeah, that's what it kind of means. Really nice. This is talking about a lot of the things that me personally in my life that I've had, not necessarily troubles with, but that have been some weaknesses of mine. Being able to acknowledge those and try to become better is something very important. Same thing with drawing. You'll see in here how my art fluctuates. And sometimes you'll see I'm just lazy. The theme for this was whale, and I actually know a little bit about animals and and maybe I'll become a marine biologist or something. But whales actually provide a lot of nutrients and such for the ecosystem, so this was kind of an important educated piece here with a mermaid. Yay! You've got little whales, you've got sharks, you've got frogs and everything in the ecosystem. Yeah, anyways, this is an angry angular angler. And he's mad because you're not coming towards him. Yeah. little doodles. I am quite proud of my work when it comes to these, actually, because with costume design, I have a habit of incorporating every piece of the subject matter. Now, do you see that right there? It's kind of hard to see. For Bowser, even though I didn't give him horns, I even gave him little earrings. I've got the crown, I've got the fangs, I've got the red hair, I've got each and every one of those bands that Bowser has. Even the turtle shell, even when this is supposed to be a human design, is in the cape. I haven't done a lot of costume design for a little while, but I feel like it's important when you are doing costume design to incorporate all the aspects of your subject, even the feet, in your piece. This one is actually kind of a funny story for this one. Art progresses as well. It doesn't always turn out how you think it'll originally go. Now, this one actually ended up starting out right about here. I hadn't colored it, nothing like that. Now, the little boys I was with at the time, they're going to be like stepbrothers soon. I was drawing with them and they said, "Oh, why is he crying?" So, I made a reason why he's crying. But anyways, your art doesn't always have to turn out how you like it. You don't always have to stick to the plan. Let it flow. Otherwise, your pictures become more stagnant and rigid. Now, this one was, you can tell the art's a little bit lazy. What it says here is, hoping that you'll be safe with a weak defense is like wishing for snow in the summer. It probably won't happen. None with empty hands can guard you, much less themselves. So, just a little bit of lazy stuff there, but I like to incorporate some writing in my work as well. Now, this is kind of a fun concept idea. It's a peacock griffin. This was another lazy thing. I tried to combine 3 different Inktober themes into one. There was drain, dirty, and present. But, yeah, not always as you plan. You don't have to finish your work all the time either. It's healthy to move on sometimes. It's also probably not a good idea for me to always do that, because I have a lot of unfinished work. Anyways, this is a character from one of my stories, Unknown Origins. It is Senri. It's after he broke his jaw. You'll probably figure out why that was the case later. Just some doodles, healthy, like I said. Now, this was kind of a fun one that I did a little while ago. Sorry, I gotta readjust. My legs are losing their blood. Whew. This is something I actually drew around Valentine's Day. They're lovebirds, see? And it's kind of like a peacock phoenix design here, with little hearts in the center. Now, this one is semi-unfinished, not necessarily, but it's kind of unfinished. Probably about as finished as it's going to get. But another thing that's really important as an artist when it comes to this is sometimes it's good to go and focus on detail. For example, I colored in every one of the lines of the feathers for this guy. All the plumage. Every little hair. It's healthy to do that, and it's kind of a relaxing thing sometimes, because you don't have to stress about all the different separate details. It's the simplicity of scales. Alright? Oh, losing pages. That's another theme one for Precious. Now this was actually a really cool idea I had. I'm also pretty crafty. You'll see that later on. It was an idea for a calendar. See? You got little sticky notes, you put them on. And then you can always take them off. This is a little peacock griffin design, but anyways, I thought that was kind of a fun little piece. Your sketchbook doesn't always have to be with just pencil and paper. You can use markers, paints. There's so many mediums to explore. Not just 1 or 2. Feel free to branch out. It doesn't hurt to try new things, for the most part. Alright, let's see. Still got a lot of sketches. A lot of these are really just ideas for if I want to make a bigger picture, a bigger painting in the future. This one, for example, is very relevant to what we're working on today. It's how art grows. It doesn't just magically happen all the time. From a little child just scribbling and making things that don't really make sense. Growing into little flowers, and I wanted to have a little girl here, drawing here, and then maybe a teenager here, making that rose, and then an adult painting on a canvas. Life and things like that, they progress. To stay stagnant and do the same thing over and over again, it's not healthy for your artistical skills to improve. Now, this is when I actually started playing with color in this sketchbook. I didn't have very good markers, but I tried. I'm also a fan of Miraculous, if you can't tell by the last comic in this one. This is supposed to be yin and yang. The concepts of Miraculous are wonderful. Anyways, so this is the ladybug, which symbolizes good luck, and this is the black cat, which symbolizes bad luck. So it's kind of a fun yin and yang thing. It's another concept drawing, Mew and Mewtwo. I was going to do a melody and aerial thing here for somebody for a commission, but they. Anyways, here's where I got some wonderful markers. I got them off Wish. I've got them right here, actually. See that? That was 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Amazing. Anyways, starting to play with color. Now, once again, experimentation, and usually I use references for a picture, but it's also healthy to not use a reference and use just your imagination and figure out how proportions work without having to look at something else to understand anatomical features and such. Now, even though you could tell, like the nose is a little big and things are just off a little bit and the ear is a little small, it's still a learning piece. Not all sketchbooks are meant to be shown to the world, like I said earlier. It can be for you to learn and progress. Raymond. Once again, changing a picture. This was originally just supposed to be a wolf in a wood of eyes, but plans change, and I turned it into Raymond, or one of my characters from the story, with eyes of amber, so you can kind of see why. I'll be working on that a little bit later. I might do a video on that. Let's see, I've got a little fox here, and this is the end. Senri the Naga. This is another character from Unknown Origins. I mentioned him breaking his jaw in another picture. He is a Naga. He's actually blind as well. I didn't really do a very good illustrating that. But this is kind of in a time period. It's after the dinosaurs, but before a lot of mankind started rising up. So there are a lot of mythical creatures in that part of the story, and Senri is one of the main characters. Now, it's been a while since I've done any realistic pieces, you can see by the rest of my sketchbook, for people. But this is a really good study for me to go ahead and go back and play with how teeth and scales and hair work again. And that is the end. I've just got some little papers here. So, a few different points if you remember. Art will progress. Don't forget that. It's really important to remember that art changes. It doesn't always stay the same, and to stick to a set plan all the time, though it's good. In order to keep your art healthy and happy, it's not always the best to stick to the plan. Go with the flow. Another thing, doodles are good. You don't have to show everybody your sketchbook. You can always skip pages if you do. Studies are also really healthy. Trying new things, new concepts, using different mediums, they're all really important for making things pop in your sketchbook. Now, like I said, this is a sketchbook from last year, so I can't really use a lot of this current knowledge on this, but I'll show you guys some of the other stuff I've done to show some past progress as well. I hope you'll stick around for that, and I hope some of these have helped motivate you on how to continue or even start drawing. I should be posting some sort of a tutorial on how to draw a few things too, maybe in the future. We'll see. In the meantime, my friends, enjoy your lives, please, for the sake of the rest of the world and yourself. Yeah, keep drawing, keep arting. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!